Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Michael Fisk on Facebook Live here. Just getting everything set up, here as people get on. If you just say hi. And then as we're getting going here, just the typical safety message. Excuse me. As always, if you're driving, please don't watch this. I mean, it's you can set up your hands free to listen, of course, and everything. But this will be recorded and posted to our YouTube page, that kind of stuff, there. So we'll give just a couple of seconds as people get logged on here. Get my notes set up here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this shadow. Well, obviously, it's a shadow. I think it's my monitor and the sun coming in from the front windows, there. But just give it another 30 seconds here. We've got a couple of people that's on here. Yeah, feel free to jump in and say hi. Let me know if you have any sound issues, or anything like that. Chase and Joplin picked up a couple of microphones. I think that was really good to help people be able to hear, especially hearing Andy's safety videos. And hopefully you've had a chance to watch those safety videos that Chase and Andy Bradford did. I think they did a really good job. In fact, one of our customers has asked us to share the video and to have Andy, share some of our safety philosophies, with them. So, again, we talk about being a leader. I mean, I think probably everybody, who should have received my email. If you're not a big email person, we'll kind of, touch on some of the things my email, talked about here, but we are the leaders in high security transportation, whether that's ATCO or SJ or Tri-State, there. So, we do lead the way. Tavares, I appreciate it here. We're going to go ahead and get jumped in here. Again, I did send out an email a couple of hours ago to all of our drivers, and it's just simple as as we're heading into the winter season here, there's always more safety challenges, safety concerns, that potentially comes up, with winter weather, so forth. It's October was our big safety blitz where we're focusing on personal securement, using, especially our team drivers, our sleeper berth security and seat belts, high visibility, putting on the safety vest or whatever. Just whenever we're out in public, we're especially if we're on roadways, and that kind of stuff, just to for our own personal safety. And those those can be real personal, right? I mean, it's we've had, remember, a couple of years ago now. It's hard to believe it's been, golly, about a year and a half, I guess. That one of our recruiters was driving home and was struck, out in the roadway. We had a situation where another one of our drivers who, through no fault of their own, went back to check on another vehicle, and they were struck. We can have policies, we can have standards, and we have all the tools, and everything, but you got to use them, right? I mean, it's no one's more invested in your own personal safety than you are. There. Our hazmat, was another focus. And then speeding violations, and we just know that the industry that we're in, I mean, it's we do more hazmat loads than maybe any other company, in the country, quite literally, and unfortunately, one violation just kind of, causes problems, everywhere with our CSA scores. So we almost quite literally have to be perfect, there, and for the most part that we are, but It's one out of 100, one out of 150, one out of 300. Where we get a violation. Unfortunately, all those CSA scores do add up. So that's been our big focus here. Joseph, hi. Golly, Joseph, you've been with us a long time now, 8, 9 years, I think. I remember when I was in recruiting, when you came in, there. So anyway, it's safety continues, to be a concern. Like I said, especially as we get into these winter conditions, we just are seeing, little things. We've not had anything big and calamitous, for a while, fortunately, but we understand that, little things lead to big things. And that's what my email is about, is, complacency, is can be a problem. It's, we hire experienced drivers, it's, complacency can set in for anybody. The service failures, the little, various issues that we've got. Golly, we had a thing, where drivers, were going into a, get some food, at a Golden Corral, and I get, that, it's nice to get a hot meal and, and all of those kind of things. But, it's, Joseph, 10 years. Okay. It's, what is that? October, there. So yeah, so you were one of my, first recruits, there. Congrats on your 10-year anniversary, Joseph. There, but it's back to, just, I know that you get hungry and get distracted and everything, but it's a tight parking lot. And we, and we just had a minor incident in there, but it's just sloppy, right? It's, and we just need to be better. There, Eugene, 4 years. Hi, there. Yeah, thank you for your 4 years. You saw us, go through all the, the COVID drama, through there. So, anyway, that's what we're, what we need to focus on. It's, we know our jobs, we do our jobs well, but we get sloppy sometimes, and I think we need to pay attention, to the sloppiness. One of the big focuses you're going to see, our safety department, continue to talk about is speed, speed violations. Let me make it really clear, okay? It's, it's for our trucks, and any Roadmaster Group truck, whether that's Tri-State, ATCO, or SJ, it's, 69 miles per hour is about the max that we're going to, be okay if it can be done safely, in conditions. And listen, I'm going to remind you again, I drove, okay? I drove several years over the road, okay? It's, Andy Bradford, our safety director, Donnie Lester, our VP of safety, our former drivers, we understand, that you start rolling, hills and you're trying to build momentum, to go on up hills. We get it, there. These newer trucks are supposed to be able to, to regulate that horsepower necessary, to make it up, the hills and stuff better. I remember, the days, I-80, we all know it's very rolling, and some of those hills are not very long, but if your truck's not powered, right, all of a sudden you're going, 50 miles per hour, type of thing. It's, God help you if you had to tap on your brake because, a slower truck, it's hard to get that momentum. We get it. We understand, that some of the challenges, that you have there on the road, but there's just no excuse for going 75 miles per hour. We can't do it. It's in, in the Wild West of trucking in the 70s and 80s, that kind of stuff. It's, all of those things, went on, but in this day and age, it's, you get outside of the 60s and you're just going to have real issues, especially if it's compounded with an accident, or an incident. So just be aware. It's, that's, those things, there's going to just be, a hypervigilance. We all see the trucking news. We all see the trucking economy. All these public trucking companies that report their, numbers. We're a subdivision of a public entity. They're, I mean, the economy's not doing great. There's not a lot of, retail. There's not a lot of, housing, going. So trucking industry overall, is struggling. We're doing fine. I mean, it's, we're doing fine financially. We're doing fine safety. We're doing fine, and those things. We want to do great. I mean, it's, generally we're doing great financially. Generally, we're doing great safety. Generally, we're doing great, everywhere, there. So, this is an environment that we have to mind the P's and Q's. I mean, it's, each time we have a service failure, our customers are upset. And rightfully so. I mean, it's, each time we have a, safety incident, our customers will question, listen, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when freight was at, at the absolute peak, and everything. I mean, it's, we have a service failure or two. Our customers, aren't happy, about it, but, they understand there's a lot going on. There's a lot, I mean, and they don't have a lot of options. They continue to work with us, and, they're, guys, in this environment, there's not going to be a lot of patience. I mean, it's, they expect us to be the leaders, that we are. And when we make mistakes, whether it's in the office, or whether it's driving, whether it's safety related, whether it's, performance issues or whatever, I mean, it's, our customers have other options. I mean, that's the great thing about, capitalism and America. I mean, it's, you've always got the options. Listen, we're the best. We just are. We've earned every single mile, every single customer, every bit of trust that we have. And now we got to fight to keep it, and in these environments here, it is about minding our, P's and Q's, and all of those kind of things. So anyway, Brenda, hi to you. And yeah, we try to be as transparent and open as possible. Ray, it's good to see you. I mean, it's, for those who know Ray, he's our securement specialist and our flatbed specialist, and he's had some, we're all getting old, and I think Ray's back is catching up to him. There, Jason, good to see you, there. So, I mentioned, the trucking environment, just the economy in general. We're doing fine. I mean, in a future Facebook Live, I think I'll get into some of the financials, when you hear different terms about operating ratio, OR, budgets, what that means. And I think I want to explain what profitability means and what happens to the profits that is created, in our trucking. That's not something I'm going to focus on, today, but I do want to, listen, we're a pretty tight-knit community, here. I mean, it's, all of you have heard that, that we've let a couple of owner-operators go. And I've gotten messages, saying, oh, yeah, well, you understand why I have to do it. I mean, the economy's bad. And, guys, it's not the economy, okay? I mean, it's, we're doing fine, in the economy. But, it is not 2022 when freight is just, falling, out our ears, and there's just, everything. This is an opportunity, and this is whether it's the office, each independent, individual, department in the office, drivers, where we've got to tune up and coach ourselves and hold ourselves accountable and just become better, there. So the reductions, that have occurred is related to safety, performance, production. I mean, it's, our owner operators that run safely, that just run, their miles and their trucks, and everything, we want to keep working with you. I mean, it's, our owner operators, are still continue to do, very well. I mean, it's, I was looking at it the other day, and we're going to have, I don't know, 50 some owner operators, well over 600,000, type of thing. And, we're going to have some probably, 800,000, type of thing. But we want you to do well, and if you run hard and you run safely, we want to be in business with you, type of thing. But again, in these economies, when the rates are down and freight, there's a bit of a fight, out there, because again, our customers have other options out there. We need to make sure that we're running efficiently and effectively, and of course safely, there. So anyway, I mean, Jason and Edward, hi, thanks for saying hi, there. So if you have any specific questions about that, I mean, it's if you're an owner operator and say, well, geez, am I on the cutting block? all I can tell you is if you run safely and you know and run your truck you know effectively and you know all that. No, we want to be in business with you. I mean, it's you know we rely heavily on our owner operators. We continue to recruit. I mean, our recruiting. You also see that that our operations is raising the standards on our company drivers as well. There. I mean, so we do have some turnover. There, and again, now is an opportunity for us to focus on our internal, processes, and everything. And again, it's we have grown this year. We have grown our customer base this year. We have grown our total load counts. All very good and healthy things, for us, and we'll continue to do that, there. Luana, hi to you, there. So, anyway. The pay plan that we implemented, in April, we've gotten, a lot of pushback, and we've gotten some corporate pushback, I mean, this is not traditional, to do a, guarantee, pay, to drivers like that. And again, we continue to defend and push back, that, listen, I mean, it's the industry does not pay drivers properly. I mean, and that's why you see more and more regulations coming in regarding pay and how drivers are paid and so forth. I mean, I know what my paycheck's going to be next week. We want our drivers to know what their pay is going to be next week. We got to pay for it though, right? I mean, that is the reality, of the world we're in, and I mean, it's we do need to focus on utilization. We do need to focus on increased safety. And so just keep that in mind as we dispatch you, type of thing. I mean, it's it's an extra load here, an extra load there. A few hundred miles here, a few hundred miles there. It all adds up. I mean, trucking is a big flywheel, right? That is just run on pennies and miles and it all adds up into the tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions, type of thing. And that's what utilization and efficiency is really all about. Again, each safety, challenge, each safety issue, I mean, it's, becomes, money that just comes straight out of our bottom line, type of thing. So again, we're in business. You're in business to provide for your families, and so forth. And at the end of it all, the better we run, obviously, the better financial situation we are. So just keep that in mind, right? I mean, it's if you like the pay and if you like the guarantees, we got to justify it. It is different and individual and unique, to the industry. And I'm proud of that. I mean, it's at the end of the year we're going to have, hundreds of our drivers will be over six figures, and if you're not, one of those drivers and say, hey, what's going on? Reach out to me, and we'll figure that out, type of thing. But we want you to be prosperous. Look at that. We got Brett Kale coming in here. Brett Kale. Some of you were recruited by Brett. I mean, Brett was one of our awesome recruiters. He started out with the ATCO fleet. So some of you ATCO, heavy haul fleets, RMS, and then he came over to, the recruiting side. And so many of our drivers will remember Brett. Good to see you, Brett, there. So. The final thing that I have, and again, if anyone else has any questions or comments, please, throw them in here. You guys have gotten to know Chase Murray, but especially with the safety videos that he did with Andy Bradford, last week. We just want to offer him congratulations. He's going to be out for a little bit, I think a week and a half or so. He's getting married. So we just want to say congratulations to Chase, and if you get a chance to hear from Chase or message him, make sure you let him know that offer your thoughts and congratulations there. So anyway, at the end of it all, guys, we appreciate you. I mean, it's you are the revenue generators. I mean, it's Craig, from Greeley. I mean, it's you know what? Actually, Greeley, Colorado is my very first driving job. JBS meat. They're a meat hauler, out of Greeley, Colorado. It's my very first job, driving job, actually. So, anyway, Tavares, specific questions, have like that. Yeah, just reach out to me or your recruiters, specifically. They're coming from tanker and want to get to your flatbed DOD. Get a hold of our recruiting group. Specifically, I will share that again. We are not growing our owner operator fleet, right now, until the economic numbers and everything, get better and healthier. We need to protect our business partners, just like they protect us. We need to protect them. So we are, we continue to have a freeze on our owner operator group, there. So. Anyway, any other questions or comments, feel free to reply to the email, that I sent you, type of thing. But otherwise, we've got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got winter weather coming up, and, before we know it's going to be Christmas, there. So, I guess I'll be the first one to offer Happy Thanksgiving, there. It's my rule that I don't say Merry Christmas until the day after Thanksgiving, there. So we'll hold on that. But really do appreciate all of you and the work that you do and the sacrifices that you make, and again, all the efforts that you do to do everything safely. So anyway, look forward to seeing you guys through the holiday season, and like I said, feel free to message me with any other questions or comments. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.